Welcome into the Tournament of Champions here in Brigham City, Utah for a Tier 1 USAPA sanctioned tournament and our women doubles gold medal match. Dane Stewart, please be joined by Christine Barksdale. And Christine, we've got a really intriguing matchup here in our championship match, Waters and Waters versus Newman and Irvine.
Yes, this is going to be an exciting match. You know, it's just been a long road getting here. They played each other earlier today, so the Waters did win that match. The scores, I'm going to grab again here real quick. I had them up. They actually won 11-4, 11-9 earlier today. So I know Jessie and Lindsey are coming into this with a new strategy, and we might see some different results here. We'll find out.
What is something we should expect to see in this particular match with this particular matchup?
That's a great question. You know, it's interesting. It's an interesting combination. The Waters team, it's mother and daughter, and they're just a super nice family. I like them. They're from Florida, and the daughter is 12, which I just love. But she hits the heck out of the ball. They both play a very hard, fast game. They have the ability to dink, but Mom really, I spent some time practicing with him yesterday, and I'm going to call her Mom right now, but Leigh really just kind of takes over a lot of the court and dominates the match. But, you know, Anna Leigh carries her weight very, very well. And they strike the ball hard, clean. They want to play a fast game. Now their opponents, Jessie, is a former pro tennis player, and she also strikes fast, athletic. You're going to see a lot of hard pace. The interesting piece on this court is Lindsey, who actually is kind of a blocker, soft player. So we're probably going to see the Waters attacking Lindsey and see if she can hang in there. That's my guess right now. We'll see how it goes if my prediction's right.
It's one of the fun things, right? I mean, you can see tempo and style change inside a game itself, let alone a match.
Yes, you have to change strategy in the middle. If it's not working, game plan B, right? So we've got Jessie and Lindsey are serving to start the match with the Waters here on the right, or in the far court.
They're underway here in the gold medal match.
And they're starting exactly the way I predicted. They are going to Lindsey because she tends to play a more defensive game. Jessie, I think, is more dangerous. Being new to the game, just started playing in November. She's dangerous because you aren't a pro tennis player for nothing.
Set up here in the kitchen,
and
return shot that one high.
And Lindsey, get out of the way of that. That might sail long, but you know, you get people in the shoulders, it's hard to duck.
1-0-1 for the Waters, wearing the matching pink caps. That one.
We've got USAPA certified referee out there, Paula Handrup, managing the match, keeping things on task. And this is going a little bit of the cat and mouse, more than I was expecting, actually. They, the Waters, having played them earlier, probably have a strategy in mind that worked for them earlier today.
And was that Anna Leigh who scored that point? Really turned up the tempo and pace there quickly.
After 2 or 3 dinks, she went for a little power. Catch your opponent off guard.
That one just betrayed him at the tape. Wouldn't crawl over. Again for the side out.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. I thought she'd come out firing a little bit more. I know she was trying to overpower me all day yesterday. So, and then again, early in the match, you know, you get people feeling each other out. What's going to work? You come in with a strategy, and you don't know if it's going to work. See, and those are the hands I'm talking about on Lindsey. Just fabulous defense, but not going to attack, generally, right? Just amazing hands, amazing defense.
But boy, you had to beat her. They had to split the legs and throw it between the wickets. But you're right, that paddle is so quick to get that ball up and back over defensively.
With such control, really a lot of control. You get blocking those balls, it's such a fine line. If you pop it up, man, you're eating it, just exactly like happened on her third shot.
1-3-2 our score here. That one was in.
Now, I do think the Waters have a little bit of advantage. They play together all the time. They practice together, they play together, they know each other's games very, very well. Lindsey and Jessie are still learning each other. And that's important, in doubles, to know your partner and know what they're going to do and anticipate the shot they're going to make.
It's one of the things I think would be a challenge. And in the senior women's doubles earlier was a question that I asked Alex Hammer. Was, some of these pairings are practicing, some are not. How challenging is that to get to know your partner when really the majority of the time you play with them is at tournaments like this?
It's, it's super hard. You can learn a lot about each other very quickly in a weekend like this, for sure.
Yeah.
And whether your chemistry is good or not. But there is a big advantage to people that play together a lot and practice together a lot, because you really learn what that person's going to hit. And you can anticipate it. Oh, I know they're going to go here, so I react this way.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference to get to play together all the time.
4-2-2. For Waters and Waters.
See a lot of all two-handed backhands out there. You watching that? A lot of women use the two-handed backhand. They come from tennis. A lot of tennis players out there, and they bring the two-handed backhand with them.
And some frustration there after that one went into the net. Mm-hmm. You saw the look. It was just like, oh. Good coverage.
Good cover.
Oh.
Annalise quick. Great anticipation of where that ball was going.
And a wise decision here by Newman and Irvine to take the timeout.
Yep, it's a good place. Once your opponents start racking up too many points, and I learned from my friend Brian Staub, can't take them with you.
Brian. Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Nobody more entertaining than Brian Staub.
Oh. That's great. No, it's certainly true. And we've seen in gold medal matches yesterday and today the effect a timeout can have, right? And is that something Newman and Irvine can help circle the wagons a little bit, stop some of the momentum that Waters are feeling right now? Because, boy, they've been really, really impressive.
Mm-hmm. They are. They're such a good team. And, again, it's the practice.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they're going to do. And it was interesting. We played against Anna Leigh yesterday, and then she partnered with me, and not knowing each other as well, it's just not the same dynamic as these two that play together all the time. All right, we're back in from time in. Score is 6-2, Waters and Waters here on the right. And we'll just see what happens if that timeout works for them.
You talk about the defense, a nice job there, and that time able to drip over the net.
Yes, and look at that. That timeout worked for him.
Get a side out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nice job dealing with that pressure from Waters and Waters. Now the serve's back over.
And you see how effective the timeout is. It just changes the momentum just enough.
Is there anything you like to do in a timeout? I mean, in that type of a situation, is like a clear the mechanism. I mean, what?
I noticed I missed it if they chatted. I don't know. I usually like to talk.
Opposite ends.
I didn't see didn't think they talked to each other. I like to talk to my partner. I like to, maybe do we need to look at our strategy? Are we doing the wrong things? But yeah, they didn't chat. But you can tell that's a new team, right?
Yeah.
You can tell a new team they didn't go chat. Now Lindsey's pretty quiet. I don't know her very well. She lives in Arizona, not too far from me. Nice family. But I just don't know her very well.
Yeah.
But I do think she's quieter. So that might be maybe she needed a little bit of time to regroup.
Yeah.
Right?
3-6-2 here.
And they're not going, you'll notice they're not going for a lot on their serves. Their main goal is to get up here at the net and get to this rally. They want to kind of bang a little bit. Oh, that's a painful miss for Lindsey right there.
Yeah. Unforced error, and again, you just saw her turn away and just like, oh, come on.
They didn't get the points they needed on that side out.
No.
I really think they need to get Jessie involved a little bit more. Lindsey's playing great defense, but I think they need to try to get Jessie. She maybe needs to poach more. She needs to be more aggressive. But that, again, is something that's hard. When you don't play with somebody a lot, you don't necessarily want to step in and take the ball.
Well, I was going to ask about that because where one team is trying to engage a particular player, does it really just become dependent on their teammate to come in and poach that to try to get that mixed up?
Jessie probably needs to put a little pressure. She's kind of, Lindsey can hold her own, there is no doubt. But there's nothing better than the surprise of your partner stepping in and taking a ball a different direction, or they're watching Lindsey's paddle. Jessie steps in and takes it in front of her. They're caught off guard. Yeah. So I would like to see Jessie take a little more charge here and let Lindsey play defense and then let Jessie really take the ball out the middle, just like that.
There's that tennis coming in. Huh?
Yeah, a little come on there. I love the enthusiasm. But you saw her. She followed her ball. She crossed the tee, and now her forehand's pummeling instead of Lindsey's two-handed backhand.
Yeah. Nice run being put together here, back to within one. Came up high.
It's a good ball.
Newman, she turned around and said, oh, that was going to be out.
I know. It's a tough call out here. There's a little bit of a breeze here in the foothills of the Brigham Mountains, I guess. A little bit of a breeze coming across the court. So it shouldn't impact the flight of the ball much.
Right now having to stay back.
It's tough. They got to get a good drop to get in, but they're playing smart. A lot of players you see Jessie, that sometimes they sneak in a little too soon and they get caught, kind of in the old tennis world no man's land kind of deal.
It's a great job being patient that time. You mentioned just waiting for that opportunity, able to sneak up and use some of that power to help you.
Yes. Now they did a much better job getting in a little quicker here. I would like to see Lindsey not pull the trigger so fast. If she really, I think she could dink with them a little bit longer. Sometimes when you know your opponents are going to pull it, you want to be the one that starts the fight. But Lindsey's such a solid dinker, I'd like to see her maybe dink just a little bit longer. Because the Waters really want the power. You'll see they start it almost every time.
Yeah.
I had the chance to talk with Jessie before this match, and I asked her favorite ice cream, amaretto. She said you can't find it very often.
Oh. I don't even know if I've ever had it.
I had never heard of it, so I'm like, amaretto. She goes, yeah, you don't find it very often. It's my favorite kind, though. Oh, that was painful. The pain of watching the ball just sit there, and you hope it goes over.
The best was there was a sigh from the crowd. I participated, and Liz just looks over like, I know, right?
I think we all did. That was a good ball. It kept Leigh back just a little bit, so she's got to make a pretty perfect dropper there, and she hit it in the net.
Second service here for Waters and Waters. 8-6, the lead here in game number 1, this gold medal match.
Good hands on that block. You don't want to get it up high. Everybody here's got such a solid two-handed backhand. You really need to keep the ball low. I feel like Jessie and Lindsey got a little lucky there. They were about 1.5 feet off the non-volley zone line. And I feel like they got a little lucky because they were on top of the line. And that you give up that foot, that's a big deal. But worked out for them. See that? They go hard with that two-handed backhand every time they get it. I'm super impressed at Anna Leigh. She's the daughter. And just 12-year-old girl, really the emotional, she's just strong. She's solid.
I mean, what 12-year-old is out playing in gold medal matches of pickleball tournaments?
Exactly. Pro open pickleball tournaments. And she's a soccer player, very, very good soccer player, which gives her great footwork out here on the pickleball court. And I think so many. It looks like there's a little bit of controversy here. The linesman called it out.
Most of the players did not agree,
Linesman called it out. The players disagreed. Leigh hit a winner off of that, but they go with the linesman's call. Yep. Players are allowed to appeal to the certified referee, but she did not see the ball, so she couldn't overrule it. Now, there also is a situation where if all 4 players agree, they actually could go ahead and replay that point if all 4 players wanted to do it. But all 4 players need to agree and then ask the referee.
Second service here for Waters. 8-6, still the advantage.
Ooh. Look at the defense on
great
that.
job taking that
Great
out.
defense. That is what Lindsey
Wow.
is so. Oh, she tried to go cute. But it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Just not executed well.
Great idea. They're all back behind the line. I mean,
yeah, get him
why
running.
not?
In. Great idea.
Yeah.
Man, what great defense out of Lindsey on that shot. Great.
A couple real tough defensive hits she was able to make to keep that alive.
But you see the difference in these play. Lindsey, she can block, and then that just frustrates your opponents.
Yeah.
Then you go harder, or you want to go lower. It makes you crazy because she can just block all day. And I believe several members of her family play, sister, brother. Look at that. And it's a two-handed block, which is really unusual. A lot of people go more one-handed when they block.
Boy, and there's not much movement. I mean, it's really just a pretty stagnant paddle, maybe a little bit of a forward motion.
It's a very efficient movement. She absorbs the pace by drawing it back into her body a little bit. She absorbs the pace. Just an effective ball.
Tried to loft one over the top.
Good eye on Leigh's part. Good eye on Leigh's part. Let that ball go out. Sometimes it's hard. They're so tempting, especially when she loves to hit that ball. It's tempting to want to hit.
Yeah.
They're allowed to ask the referee if they're the correct server. And Jessie just confirmed before they served wrong. Because if you serve wrong, you lose that point or rally, basically.
Or as we learned in the seniors match, if you line up wrong on the receiving end.
Exactly.
That was something I didn't know.
No?
I mean, I'm asking Alex, like, what happened?
Yeah. I don't know what happened just there. I missed.
Yeah, so they called it out, and Lindsey did not believe that was out. So the side out, so for Waters.
For some reason, I looked and I thought I must have missed something, but we were talking. For some reason, I thought it hit Anna Leigh. Obviously, I didn't see the right thing. They call a timeout.
Yep.
Lindsey and Jessie called the timeout here. Let's see if they do anything different. They're not chatting with each other, so they must have their own thing where they go and really regroup within themselves to get back into the match. I think it's a good time for a timeout because they are now down 8-7, and they've had some kind of wonky things happen that can really mess with your focus, basically.
Second timeout for Newman and Irvine, so they are out for the rest of this first game.
Yep. 2 timeouts per game.
Yep.
1 minute each.
So, Christine, you're a player. You're also very heavily involved. Tell us what your experience has been so far this week here at the Tournament of Champions.
It's been a fun experience. I love the crowd. I love the people. I played in the Senior Pro. I wish I had been on that live stream, but we lost we took the bronze today.
Mm-hmm.
We had a really good match against Lisa Namu and Chris Anderson, who are just nice people. We had a fun match, super close. Would have liked to have pulled that one out and been out here on the live stream. But love this tournament. Love the setting here. Good shot. She went across Anna Leigh. It's hard to be ready when you can cut it across and keep it in.
Yeah.
It's a tough shot. But the tournament directors are doing an outstanding job here. We got 9-7-2 on the score, right?
Yep.
They're going to be a little bit tight, maybe. We're going to see. Oh, great hands on Lindsey's part. I can say
right down the middle.
We're going to see some of Jessie's probably tennis background come into play, where she's just mentally tough.
Yeah. Again, man, they've had a couple of those. Just haven't been able to get over the tape.
Good hands. Looked like a little bit of a miss hit there, but it worked out to her advantage.
8-9-2 now.
Now the winner of this match gets pre-registration for Nationals 2020, which is a big deal to get in the USAPA Nationals. It's tough to get in that tournament. A lot of people are just finding out this week whether they get to go play Nationals or not, because it's a lottery.
Okay.
You either get pre-registration or you go into a lottery. Winner of this match gets pre-registration, and that's a big deal, said it's a selling point now. When you want to ask a partner, hey, I've got pre-reg for nationals. You want to play with me? Suddenly you look a little more appealing.
Yeah. So when that happens, it isn't necessarily that paired together.
Correct. They don't have to. A little bit of that had to do with tracking and how that worked. They didn't force them to play together. They can split up and play with a new partner. This is the first year this tournament's a pre-registration for nationals.
10-8-2 game point here.
Let's see, let's talk about their mental toughness right here.
Yep. Nice job backing him up there.
Yeah, Lindsey's quick and young. She'll get to it. And that's a place you don't want to go. Jessie's forehand.
An important side out there for Newman and Irvine.
Yes, that was a big point. We haven't seen the Waters use either of their timeouts yet. They've been kind of in control, so they probably haven't felt like they needed to use them. You know, and the difference there is Jessie's not. They're about, again, 1.5 feet behind the non-volley zone line, and that you're giving up a lot of space when you're back there. I would like to see them get a little more snug up on that line. And you see the Waters, they're within, 3 or 4 inches.
Yeah.
Oh, they should have just out. Ooh, little luck there.
I thought it was an opportunity for them to come up.
It was, exactly, and that's what I was getting ready to say. They should have fought. That was such a good drop shot. They should have come up.
Yeah.
And we've seen the wind change directions a little bit, too. And, when you're playing with a plastic ball, the wind matters.
Yeah. 9-10-2.
Still would love to see them get, it's either their foot off the line.
Yep. Oh, just long.
Was it just long?
Yep.
They got 1 point. That's a good, if they can stave off these two, we're going to see. I think if I were out there, again.
Man, that's got to be so hard, right, to make that judgment when you're at the no volley zone.
It happens so fast, and it just happens fast. You got to make that. You got to make that decision quickly.
Yeah. Well, and you really don't get the appreciation just watching it on a screen, right? I mean, we're right next to the court, big side out there, but when you're right next to the court and you see that, I mean, that reaction time has just got to be so quick. Side out, back over with Irvine and Newman, and there's a big point. And a timeout taken by Waters, and Waters as Newman and Irvine have come back to tie it up at 10-10 here in game number 1.
This is pretty good pickleball going on. We got going on out here.
And how about the job of Newman and Irvine? We've talked about, there have been a number of plays, Lindsey, where she's, kind of looked away, and you could see some of the frustration with herself of not, making the right hit, but to be able to come back from that, tie things up here at 10, it's been an impressive job in this first game.
It has. The Waters are making some errors at this point. They've hit a few balls long. They've dropped a few into the net. So, and it's what's different. You have to win that point. You can't just let them make the error. You've got to continue to go for it. But, when your opponents kind of catch point by point by point, you get a little nervous, basically. And suddenly you're not swinging as loose as you were a couple seconds ago.
Well, that's a great point. We're going to find out really quickly if Waters are feeling that pressure.
Yeah.
Having it 10-10-1 here with Newman and Irvine in service.
See, and they're doing a good job of keeping the ball low and at their feet because they're giving them that space to do that. Look at the difference in this. How much ground.
Yeah.
Oh, get a little net love there. Well, there's again a call that they're not happy with.
Yep.
Got the Lions people out here in a gold medal match. There's always Lions people. And the referee's not overruling it. So the Waters are going with that call. So somebody saw, got to go with the linesman. See, again, I want Jessie another 2 feet up. I want her up on that non-volley zone line.
So the side out, and now service to Waters, and Waters.
Good hands on Annalee's
Anna
part.
Leigh.
Very good hands. Jammed her a little bit. These are the kind of fast exchange I was expecting we'd see in this match. Waters like to play hard and fast. Great hands on Lindsey's part. But again, starting to back up.
Nice shot there by Leigh Waters to get the point, game point again.
Finishing
here.
shot there.
Yeah.
Great shot on Leigh's part. And I don't know if you've noticed that the water's stacked so that Annalee's on the, tennis players on the deuce side and Leigh is on the ad side. So they spend most of their time stacking, obviously they must feel that's just where their strengths are. And she's given a little signal. She's using some old tennis things and giving a signal, and they're switching.
Sun coming out here late in this first game.
Yeah. Well, my favorite time here is around sunset off the mountains there. It's so pretty.
Yeah. Starts to cool off a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Players are probably aren't ready for the sun right now.
Yeah. A good job here by Lindsey. Continuing to fend it
got a
off.
little net, another net tip there. They're both using a lot of heavy slice on that point. Oh, a lot of heavy slice in that exchange. And Jessie, a little frustrated with herself, I think.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
You can see her just re-hitting that, right? Gotta get it up.
She's like, how did I miss that?
Yeah. 10, 11, 2.
That's like, they're backpedaling now. Now get in. Both of them should have gotten in. I feel they had the chance. She's hitting really good third ball drops. She wished that one over. She didn't think she got it.
Yeah.
Oh no. There's a shot you won't see Jessie miss very often. That's probably one she'd like to have again right now.
Yep.
Big forehand in the center. I bet she had a different vision right there.
So 11, 10, 1.
Leigh serving. Leigh serving the game point here. That's a good shot. One-handed backhand out of the center. Jessie's using a one-handed there. That was pretty.
How about the fight in this first game? Neither side
Great.
giving in.
No.
It's been great.
Both sides are stacking. Jessie and Lindsey are stacking, probably so they have Jessie's forehand in the center, because it's a beast. Uh-oh.
Game 1 to Waters, and Waters split down.
What a great start to a day for these ladies here in Brigham City, Utah, the Tournament of Champions.
Great game 1, and it is Waters and Waters with the win. We prepare for game number 2 here. There's a best-of-3 gold medal match in the Tournament of Champions, Brigham City, Utah, Tier 1 USAPA sanctioned tournament. Dane Stewart joined by Christine Barksdale. And Christine, you made a comment early in that first game about how you felt like Waters and Waters really felt like they had pretty good control of that match, but really the last 3, 4, 5 points of that were very balanced. If you're Newman and Irvine, what do you look to do differently in game number 2, or do you try to go back to what you were doing? I mean, what are you thinking right now to try to get game number 2 in this championship match?
Again, I kind of want to see, honestly, I want to see Jessie play a little more aggressively. I think that there's some forehands, like that forehand that they just let go down the center. See, that's something about, their new partners. A little bit of communication there. It's super important when you're in a tiny space like a pickleball court. Partner communication is huge. You need to be saying who's going for which ball. They didn't communicate there, and in my mind, though, with Jessie's big forehand, she should be stepping in and cracking some. They got several points in a row with Jessie stepping over the tee and really taking some points. And again, Jessie right up on the non-volley zone line. So she has just this huge forehand. So I think if if really, because Lindsey's such a good defender, they should let her defend, and Jessie should be poaching and picking off shots to take over.
If you're Waters and Waters, what do you look to do differently? Because, you know, they had a great momentum for a majority of that game. At the end, it felt like maybe scrapping a little bit, trying to hold on to their lead. Came out with the win.
My guess is they got a little tight,
okay,
right? Because when your opponents start getting points and points and points, again, like I said, you're not swinging as freely. I really think the Waters are doing the good things. I think they're taking the ball hard when they need to. They're making a few errors. I feel like Leigh, maybe she missed a few of the third ball drops into the net. You know, just not getting them over, going for almost a perfect third ball drop. It doesn't need to be that perfect. But that's what I would say here, is what I would see. They just need to be, looks that partner miscommunication error over there. And Leigh took advantage of that and really ripped a nice shot down the line.
Not the way you want to start out.
No.
Quickly 1-0-2 for Waters and Waters.
And they're slowing the ball down. That's trouble. It's like the Waters wanted to slow the points down just a little bit and wait for the right opportunity to crush the ball.
Well, maybe coming back to having them control the pace when they want it to pick up, right?
Exactly. That's a good pickup on Lindsey's part. What that great get. Oh, that was such a great get. Jessie was such a pretty shot. And again, some of the things we're seeing is new partners.
Right. Well, I mean, that's a perfect example, right?
Exactly.
I don't know whether to hit it with my backhand or you're going to hit it with a forehand, and neither do, and it's a point given up.
And you got to call the ball. Unless you play together all the time and know exactly what your partner's doing, you got to talk. Yeah. And we're not seeing that out of Jessie and Lindsey a lot right now, but each team's got their own style, and this chemistry might be what works for them.
Well, and every team, you know, goes through those moments. I mean, when Leigh and Annalee are playing their first matches, you know, and that's a mother-daughter. You know, I mean, it takes some time to build that.
It takes a lot of time to build that chemistry and that relationship up.
So quickly a 3-0 lead for Waters and Waters.
Pop that up.
And move to a second serve for Irvine and Newman.
So Waters and Waters are off to a good start here. Good defense on Leigh's part. Look at that. This is an amazing point. Little net tip there. Wow, good dig on Leigh's part. Little step around the non-volley zone there. Yep, she did what they call the Ernie. Wasn't a full Ernie, but she did hop around the non-volley zone line.
That was a nice put-away shot there by Leigh on a point that had a lot of different tempos.
Yes, there was a great defense in there. Oops, she thought that was going to sail a little bit out. That didn't happen. The wind's completely died, looking at the American flag over here. The wind's completely died down. The sun's come out.
For like the first time all week.
We've got some shadows on the court, which can sometimes cause some trouble, too. This lovely new shade structure we're sitting under creates a little shadow this time of day. But I'm happy for the shade structure.
I know. I'm like,
thanks to John Golo, I think this was his vision to have this here.
It makes it much nicer on those of us who are not playing.
Yes.
So, you know.
We don't have the sun beating down on us.
4-0-2. Game number 2 of our gold medal match.
Again, the winner of this match gets to pre-registration for the 2020 USAPA Nationals. She got a little impatient there, wasn't quite there. Well, we're going to see if Jessie can generate some points, Jessie and Lindsey.
Well, they need to. Starting to get a little deep in this second game, and that deficit
You know, you can make a great comeback from there. You just got to play smarter pickleball. Jessie just went for a shot that a little too early. I've seen people be up 9-1 and lose. Such a game of momentum.
Yep.
And then nerves play a factor in those kind of. Good defense. Such good defense.
Lindsey's like a brick wall over there.
She is. And that one, she even went with some offensive, big two-handed swinging volleys, but the Waters had an answer for it. And Anna Lee's stepping a couple feet off the line, and she's she wants to dink. She's letting that ball bounce in front of her. But I would like to see her recover back up to the non-volley zone line after she. Good get. Oh, Mom told her no, but she hit it anyway. Again, that's that instant reaction. You have to answer right then.
Man, how about this rally, huh?
This is crazy. Oh, that's a heartbreaker right there.
Come on, girls, here we go.
They didn't get any points that I'm sure they were hoping for right there.
Yeah. Oh, man, great
She
hit.
found that middle.
Yep.
She found that middle. And that's, you know, again, partners. Who covers that shot?
Yeah. 5-0-1.
I did ask the Waters the ice cream question as well. They both like mint chocolate chip. So I wonder if they happen to win this, if they might have some mint chocolate chip ice cream tonight.
I think that's a pretty good celebration, huh?
I think so. Yeah.
5-0-2. I'm a little disappointed there was no cookie dough mentioned in that discussion.
Right?
I mean,
is cookie dough your favorite?
Yeah.
You know, mine an Oreo cookie. You know,
so
just both are delicious.
Yeah,
Cookie dough.
Yeah.
Surprised.
0-5-1 service.
So I'm sure they're hoping to get some points there. I'm wondering, quite honestly, two things. Lindsey and Jessie aren't winning with this. They've gotten a point. They're on the board. That's a good thing. Maybe they shouldn't stop stacking, just to give their opponents a different look.
Yeah.
Right? You've been doing the same thing the whole match. Just give them something different to look at. You know, if they're getting used to kind of picking on Lindsey a little bit, give them something to look at.
Man.
Oh, my word. Great shots.
We talk about the defense that Lindsey's had in this match. How about Anna Leigh right there?
That was beautiful pick. Oh, that stayed in. That stayed in. Got a little come on out of Jessie on that. That's the first, I think, real emotion I've seen out of Jessie.
Yeah.
But they're on 2 points here, but I might even just try unstacking for a couple of points. Look here, they got 3, though. Again, look at this little momentum change we've got going on.
Yeah, and a timeout taken by Waters. And I was actually wondering that. You know, you have a 5-0 lead and give up a couple points to try to do something to nip this in the bud, and that appears to be, I would say, the strategy here.
Yes. Yeah, when they've got when there's people start making a little run on you, you better change things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Change the karma for a second. Stop the momentum, because, you know, we heard Jessie got fired up, right?
Yeah.
Come with a little come on.
Yeah.
And sometimes when that gets in you and you get that fire in your belly, man, momentum changes quick.
Yeah.
You see the swing.
Yep. Been a fun day here today at Brigham City, Tournament of Champions. This tournament continues on Friday and Saturday, so if you're in the area, come on out, Brigham City, Utah, on the John A. Gullo Medal Court, and you talk about John and his vision for what this tournament has become. This has been a growing tournament in the last several years, and it's become really phenomenal to come out and watch and participate in.
Yes, it has been. I was fortunate to have played, and I've played in it every year since its inception, when it was down in Ogden and moved up here.
Yep.
So I love coming to the event. Kyle Klein's an amazing tournament director, and I think he just puts on a great event, and he really cares about the players, and he understands it's their experience. You know, they're here on their vacation playing pickleball. Okay, we're back in from the timeout that the Waters just took to try and change momentum. And it didn't work for that moment.
4 unanswered points for Irvine and Newman. Back to within 1.
That's good defense. What you don't want is Jessie stretching. If you're hitting her, you want to hit into her body. Because when she's reaching like that shot, you can see the tennis come out in her, right? She's this two-handed backhand, beautiful movement to the ball, reaching for it, great shot, right? You want to hitting into her body's probably a little smarter on the waters versus letting her stretch out, go to either one of her wingspins. Good catch on Jessie's part.
Yeah.
They almost had the wrong server going. And so that's pretty good for a new player that's only been playing since November. It's tough to master when you're stacking. It's tough to master and not goof up. And you can also get caught in this intensity and forget and not think about the score and where you're supposed to be. And the certified referees are well trained. They are going to catch that and call you on a fault there. They have a great referee program. Adding some new things this year, I understand, with some tiers. So if people, aspiring referees out there, want to learn, there's going to add like a tier 1 and tier 2 so you can, maybe you don't want to be out here reffing this match, but you still want to be a good referee.
Well, great way to develop, right?
Right,
the next generation of reffing this match.
Yes, exactly.
Slowing it back up here.
I love that when you go, ooh. Looked like it was there. She just missed it.
Yeah. Back-to-back points that Irvine sent into the net. That one in.
Barely on the line. Great move on Annalee's part. Just when you can move your momentum forward and keep moving and get a big swinging volley in there, it's tough to defend against.
Yeah. Well, Waters and Waters took that timeout when it was 5-3, and since then they were able to they gave up a point, got the side out, and that lead pushed back up to 4 here, and a timeout for Irvine and Newman.
And that was I think that's a good time for a timeout. Yeah. They've lost 3 points now.
Yep.
They've got to regroup, come back in.
And they're 3 points away from losing the match.
Right.
Game number 2, so time starting to close down on them and needing to find that next level, right? That response.
What are they going to do differently?
Yeah, yeah.
And a little bit of it, in your head. You lost to the Waters earlier today. They're tough competitors, and that can play a little bit of in your mind.
Yeah, the other question here late in the match is, you talked about in game number 1, maybe the Waters tightening up a little bit. Do we see them tighten up here in game number 2 of a championship match?
It can definitely happen, but they can't. If they have the momentum, that won't happen.
So that was called out.
Yes, it was. By Lawrence Person and certified referee Marcia Fresso. This isn't looking good now. Not looking good.
No, match point now for...
We have Lindsey asking if they have a timeout, and they have another timeout this game, so they're using their second one now, and I think that was a good choice.
Brian says, right?
Yeah.
Now or never.
Brian says you can't take them with you.
Yeah. So match point coming up here for Waters and Waters. Won the first game 12-10, leading here 10-4. And trying to secure that gold medal.
Yep. Want a little bit of money that comes along with this event.
I saw some of those checks pay out here. That's not bad.
It's not a bad
weekend. To go and play some pickleball.
Exactly.
Huh?
You come, you hang out with your friends, you're playing some pickleball, and you earn a little bit bank for while you're here.
I wish I was good at pickleball. I'd say sign me up.
Right, but lessons, we're going to have to get you out there.
Yeah, next time I'll wear some more athletic clothes and we can try
it. And we'll try it, okay.
Yeah.
We got some fun excitement this weekend. We've got mixed doubles is tomorrow, pro mixed doubles tomorrow, and then men's doubles and pro women's singles on Saturday.
That's right. We're going to have all those right here.
All right here.
Match point for Waters and Waters.
I almost found myself holding my breath there.
It is interesting. We've got a really good crowd on hand today, and at times today it's gone like silent.
Because they get so into the point, right?
Yeah.
And that might have been sailing out, but again, so hard to make that decision right there.
Yep.
We do have a great crowd. We're lucky we've got. If you were to guess, how many people do you think we got sitting there? Oh, we got the Waters just won that match, and the mother-daughter hug. That's great. Love it. But it was fun. Great match, great play on everybody's part.
Great for Leigh and Leigh, and they hit a winner where they scored in like fashion a number of points in this match, right down the middle.
Yeah.
And congratulations to mother-daughter on what was a fantastic run today in the women's doubles and able to win the gold medal match over Newman and Irvine 12-10 and 11-4. Christine, your final thoughts on our championship match here?
You know what? Outstanding play on everybody's part. We saw some amazing long points, long rallies. I wish some of those I'd have been counting how many hits were in there and how many digs and how many saves they had going, because really it's just great defense, great offense all the way around on all four competitors' parts. Got to give the nod to Leigh and Leigh, I think, because they play together all the time, and they're tough, fierce competitors. They've been playing a little while.
Well, a great job by Lindsey and Jessie to get here. Talk about new pairing and boy, everything that comes with that. They had a lot of fight out there today.
They beat some great teams, some of the top teams in the country. We're used to seeing Simone Jarging out here, and she went down a little earlier. These teams, the competition's getting tougher and tougher.
Yeah.
So they made some great wins to get here today, and I'm super impressed at Jessie. Been playing like 4 months, 5 months. Well, 8 months now. I guess the year's longer than I thought, but
Well, it's been fun. Christine, it's been a pleasure having you along. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. We're going to have the medal presentation coming up for you here in just a moment from John A. Gullo Medal Court at the Tournament of Champions here in Brigham City, Utah. All right. We have our medal presentation here at the Tournament of Champions, a U.S. APA Tier 1 sanctioned tournament. I want to thank all of our participants today and the great fans that came out today. We're here on John Gullo Championship Court, and want to thank, of course, our presenting sponsors, Selkirk, as well as Paddletech and Pickleball Central, that are gold level sponsors for this tournament. Thank you for your support. We'll start with our bronze medal winners, Lucy Kovalova and Andrea Koop. Nope, right here. Congratulations. Our silver winners, Jessie Irvine and Lindsey Newman. Congratulations. And our gold medal winners, Leigh Waters and Leigh Waters. And as a part of their winnings, the gold medal, obviously, and then a pair of head shoes, the official footwear of the Tournament of Champions. Congratulations. First of all, I want to ask you about the gold medal match. Boy, that first game was such a barn burner. You guys took everything, felt like everything you had in the tank to get that first game 12-10. What was that battle like in game number 1 for you?
It was really tough because obviously Jessie and Lindsey are amazing and you can't give them anything. So we had how many match points game points before we actually pulled it out. So, I mean, it was really intense, and I just told Leigh, just, eyes on the ball, just play within yourself, and we pulled it out.
Leigh, you're a youngin', and yet you find yourself winning the gold medal here in this tournament. What's that been like for you to learn this sport, and what has pickleball taught you?
It's been a great experience. I get to travel around the country playing pickleball with my mom, but when we first started, she was better than me, so hopefully I can catch up to her soon.
Definitely caught up.
I was going to ask mother-daughter, that is awesome. What has your experience been like to be able to use pickleball as a way for you guys to strengthen your relationship, spend time together?
It's really cool because I support her in soccer, and that's just her, but this is together, and we're sharing every moment, and my mother travels with us everywhere, and it's just memories that we'll never forget.
I agree.
You can't
No. Thank you. I think you summed it up.
Well, congratulations on a fantastic match and a fantastic run. We've got the presentation of the Lanius Cup, and then also we've got something else for you after that, but we'll start there.